And Versha, I wonder, when you look at what they've done editorially, it's fairly interesting that this has become a dominant media brand and a sub-dominant cable channel.
I mean, Jon Stewart's done an amazing job establishing a brand that millennials actually want to tune into and listen to, and the way that he's done that, essentially, is by being fearless and calling BS on politicians and on media itself every day.
In particular, the daily aspect of it is fairly enormous, just in how often it's been there. But are there certain things that have put this show on the map that let it sort of leapfrog other traditional media, nightly news, whatever other voices were coming at that same generation, but not reaching them?
In terms of reaching them, I mean, Jon Stewart has done a great job. With Comedy Central has done a great job in terms of putting it on mobile, putting it on Facebook, putting it on social, which is really where the news is and where people are consuming the news. So as they've adapted over the last 17 years, they've really adapted to where the news is going and where young people especially are consuming the news.
Yeah, it's fairly amazing what they've done with digital and how successful that's been. Because when this show launched, or when Jon Stewart joined this show, well after the show launched, let us not forget the great Craig Kilborn years. But I wonder, they surely weren't thinking about new media when they launched this old media show, cable TV talk show. It had been done for a while. What is it in particular that worked for them in new media?
Well, again, I think it was just the adaptability that they were able to do and do it very quickly. It's been interesting to watch Larry Wilmore and The Nightly Show because he has launched in 2015 when people are already consuming news on Snapchat, consuming it on messenger apps like Kik. And now this has definitely taken advantage of the mobile video opportunity. So just in terms of shareability and in terms of clips and segments that you can get from those shows, Comedy Central has really done a fairly outstanding job in adapting to social consumption.
Yeah, and of course there have been so many people. You mentioned Larry Wilmore has just launched this new show there in the last few weeks, but there have been so many others who've gone on to great big things from that show, most of whom are going to be pretty busy, but you wonder how many might be considered as the replacement for Jon Stewart.
I know. I think the CNN Money headline that they ran with today was, did Comedy Central lose 3 of their biggest stars in a year or 2 years? So the timing is a little bit unfortunate. It was summer of 2013 when John Oliver stepped in and guest hosted The Daily Show that summer. Some people wondered if he was up to the job. He did an amazing job. He landed his own successful series on HBO. It's unfortunate that he can't just take over because I think he'd be the natural replacement, but at least The Daily Show has a good stable of correspondents and very diverse correspondents in Jessica Williams and Asif Mandvi and Samantha Bee, who they can choose from to maybe establish their own brands and take over.